It's here, the brand new Arcade1up machine. Does this machine live up to the hype? Is it worth your money? Let's find out in this review of Marvel vs. Capcom. Let's go! What's up, everybody? This is Brian from HappyFunnyGaming. If you're into geeky stuff like me, like this Arcade1up machine behind me, please like and subscribe below. Now on to the review. So I had to pre-order Marvel vs. Capcom at Best Buy when Arcade1up announced that it was going to be there, and I finally got it. I'm so excited to play this game. The reason why I bought this game was because it brought the nostalgia feeling to me. I remember I took a bowling class while going to school, and we would always go to the bowling alley early in the morning. It was empty, the arcades were empty, and it only had a few arcade games, and one of them was Marvel vs. Capcom. And it was the first time I played it. It's actually the first time I actually beat a fighting game, probably, besides Killer Instinct at the time. And Marvel vs. Capcom just brings back the feelings of the 90s back in the day. I'm a little bit older now, and you know, it just brings me back to when I was a kid. Marvel vs. Capcom came out in 1998, I believe. At that time, a couple years after Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat starts coming out. Games started coming out with better graphics, and it starts to evolve. But Marvel vs. Capcom versus franchise revitalized the sprite gaming. They revitalized it with the art, with the sprites, with the technology. The Versus series from Capcom pairs up with your favorite characters from the X-Men era, Marvel era like Spider-Man, and also Street Fighter era, and it's a very fast-paced gameplay, which I love. Let's first talk about the packaging of Marvel vs. Capcom. It came in the mail, and my box actually came dented, and I was worried that this machine would actually have a lot of dents or it would be broken, but the packaging was pretty good that nothing happened. And when I opened up the package, opened up the Arcade1up, looked at all the parts, there was hardly any scuff marks. The packaging on these Arcade1up machines have gotten better through the years. This machine right here is close to perfect in like scuffs and anything, but I will explain the things that I found. If you're new to Arcade1up, they're build-it-your-own systems. They're smaller than regular arcades, a little bit smaller, and they're made out of plywood. It only takes probably about an hour or a little more if it's your first time to build this machine. It's pretty easy. How does this machine look? It looks great. The character art on here is great. When you look at the machine on the left-hand side, they have the Marvel characters all colored, and then the Street Fighter characters are actually in gray, and then the right-hand side, the Street Fighter characters are in color, and then the Marvel characters are in gray. I like this style. I know there's another Arcade1up. It's called X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which is kind of like this one, which has Marvel vs. Capcom also included in there. And I like the art in that. But if I had to pick one, I would pick this machine right here because it has all the characters I like. It has Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man, so that's a win for me. I would pick this one instead of the other one. When you buy Marvel vs. Capcom from Best Buy, it costs $4.99, and what you get is a light-up marquee, okay, a riser, and a chair, and also a light-up deck. The list of games that come with this system are Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, and X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and Marvel War of the Gems, which is, I think, a console game. I never played it. That's a lot of games, and that's more games than the X-Men vs. Street Fighter. It has more games than the Marvel Superheroes arcade cabinet, which they released a couple months ago. I'm glad I waited because this one has it, so I didn't waste my money on getting that. I know it's a great cabinet, but I believe my purchase was better with these. I like the artwork on the light up panel. It's very bright. And also, speaking of lights, I want to talk to you guys about the control deck that's lit up. I saw a picture of the NBA Jam lit up control deck that Best Buy was producing, and I thought it was pretty gimmicky and it looks pretty bad that I would just turn it off. Now that I see it in person in here, I like it turned on. You could actually have different options, different colors. They have, red, green, blue, white, purple. Right now it's on purple. My wife likes purple, so I had to compromise. Also, it actually changes color. You could set it to change color to your preference. It looks really cool in this machine. If you don't like it, you could turn it off. This one also comes with a cool chair. It has the Marvel heroes on it, like Spider-Man and Venom. It's just your typical Arcade1up stool. Let's talk about the controls. Arcade1up's controls are decent. I'm not gonna upgrade the control panel with the buttons or anything. I know about Sanwa buttons. I'm a Sanwa player myself. The joystick is square gate, and I know some old school people don't like the square gate. They could swap it out. You could swap it out if you want to an octagonal or a circular gate, which was played back in the day. I got used to the square gate because in Street Fighter 4, I played competitively with Sanwa controls and they were square gate and I got used to it. I love feeling the diagonals. I like feeling the input on the diagonals in the controller, and that's just my preference. Controls are responsive enough that you could fight. You could do your Hadoukens, do your Shoryukens with accuracy. It's now for the world famous Shoryuken test. I'm gonna be using my boy Mega Man. Let's see how these controls handle. Boom! All right. The controls handle really well. It's just that it feels a little bit cheap, but then again, you don't have to upgrade if you don't want to. But if you want to feel more of better controls like Sanwa buttons or anything like that, it's an easy upgrade. A great thing that Arcade1up has been adding to their systems, which I like, especially fighting games, is the option to change the difficulty and other game options. They put it in the menu right here. I'm very thankful for that, especially for people who are just starting out fighting games. Arcade1up Street Fighter 2 Turbo was super hard. Even competitive gamers like my cousin who goes to Evo gets owned in that game. In each of these games right here, you could actually change the difficulty to easy so that you could beat it with every character or learn the game better, or if you're first starting out, and I really thank Arcade1up to put that. Now let's talk about the big one, the online. How's the online? One first thing I want to talk to you guys about the online is you could pick your avatars in here. That's really cool. I didn't know, I thought it was just going to be a basic online gameplay like the NBA Jam right over here, but Capcom stepped it up. You could pick your avatars in the game, and they have several pictures, which is cool. So pick your avatars and put your screen name on there. My experience with the online is it's pretty decent. It's not gonna be as great as like Mortal Kombat 11 or Killer Instinct, the Xbox one, that netcode. But this online gets the job done. It makes the game fun. You'll get a great experience with it. I still need more experience playing online in this game because it's still new, and play other people as more and more people get in this game. But right now, I'm having fun. This machine came pretty perfect. There was only one gripe about this machine. On the left hand knob, it won't screw all the way down. It's actually higher. You could probably see it in the back. It's actually higher than the other one. I'm gonna actually call Arcade1up to try to replace it. Other than that, there's no other issues with this machine. So is this machine worth it? Is it worth that $500 that you're gonna spend? That's up to you. You could always build a machine yourself and play with your friends, or have it on the console and play with your friends on your couch. But I'm looking for the experience of being in an arcade like when I was a kid. I'm looking for the stand-up experience of standing up there, playing against other people online, playing against other people live, and playing against other people online, standing up with the arcade atmosphere. I love that experience. I'm missing that experience with the new gaming right now. Still love playing fighting games on the couch with my family and friends, especially Mortal Kombat 11 right now. But it will never have that feeling of being in an arcade like this. And you could play online against other people with the same mindset. So for me, I think this machine is a win. It looks great, it plays great, you can play against people online. It's an art piece. Go get it. I want to know, did you end up picking up this Marvel vs. Capcom machine and what you think about it, or are you going to end up picking it up? Please comment below. For more coverage of Marvel vs. Capcom, PS5, or all your geeky needs, like and subscribe below. This is Brian from HappyFunnyGaming. Stay safe.